What can I do you for? Uh, y'all want to hear about the origins of African Egyptian culture and the porn industry. Okay, so let's get right into it. So there I was. Anybody familiar with Playboy magazine, Hugh Hefner, Larry Flint of Hustler? Anybody seen the movie The People versus Larry Flint? Now Jay Rogers wrote a book about the mixing of interracial marriages. But in that book, Jay Rogers was saying, I'm not saying that, you know, uh, uh, that there's Greek, Egyptian origins or black origins when white people but we know Thoth is attributed to Hermes, and the Starfire women are the same as the oracles of Delphi, or the Vestal Virgins, the Mazda women, so on and so forth, or the Forbidden Kingdom. So there I was, 2016, sitting in my condo and back home. And I came to California because I knew about the sperm banks. They paid $2,000 a month. People in Hustler making $10,000 a month. See, sometimes the devil will tempt you, but you have to be wise enough to not get caught in a conspiracy. The difference between pimping an Egyptian and Ramses and King Tut and all these people who got caught in the Harlem conspiracy is pimping never died, nor did his father. But the ones who got caught in the eugenics experiment failed horribly. One day I went to the top of Hustler, since removed. I seen they had a sperm bank in the motherfucker. I said, damn, why would they have a sperm bank in this motherfucker? This was a year after I kicked one of the judges in the LGBT on the RuPaul show in his ass. You might remember his live feed when I was playing Dr. Frances Wilson. I had access to all the stuff I wanted because I was applying for billion-dollar grants at that time anyway. Though unsuccessful, yet they knew about it. And I knew they were making y'all bust down Tatiana in the office. So I wrote the book because I seen the atrocities that were being committed. You might want to take a drink, take a sip, because I'm about to take you on a ride. Long story short, I wrote the book because I knew these things to be true. Now, you just seen Ron Jeremy was labeled incompetent to stand trial. All right? When you look at Egyptian hieroglyphics, all on the wall, you see penises erect, Temple of Luxor, you see what? The goddess Nut, titties hanging out. She's putting the sun in her vagina. Even Dr. Ben talked about it a little bit, but he didn't really expound on it. Hugh Hefner and Larry Flint came up in a time after World War II when the scientists had been detained and the soldiers were executed for doing eugenics experiments. Now, though the World War had ended, the eugenics experiments had not stopped. So they were responsible. Why do you think there's a Playboy Lady of the Month like Keppera? Not 12 men disciples, but 12 women. One man running harems, birthing them, because they understood agriculture and the secret science of sex. Not only that, they didn't distribute cocaine and all this fentanyl and bullshit. They got real resources: corn, apples, oranges, lumber, steel, iron, gold, diamonds, etc. And built major civilizations, because the word Latino itself is derivative of the word Latin. Because remember, the Egyptians mixed with the lepers in the 18th dynasty, which created the Greek nation. Which later, after the Greek nation, those who came after that, they inseminated with the Greeks again, which created the Romans, and so on and so forth. Quakers come from the 11th dynasty. The Taoists come from the 14th dynasty. So there had already been traces here and there of it about to happen, but it hadn't really hit its peak to the 18th dynasty. These are not Enlightenment era words. These words were ancient. How do you think those people were helping you? But Genghis Khan, after Attila the Hun sacked Rome and we ruled for 1,000 years, Genghis Khan, Vlad the Impaler, wanted to create the Forbidden City, or the Forbidden Kingdom. That's why they only had it for 400 years. After these 400 years, blacks emancipated themselves, became freedmen, and you had people going at each other like W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington, oh man, you know you work hard. Him and Cornel West, crazy as a motherfucker, look like Einstein on crack. The black Einstein on crack. And he said, W.B. Du Bois was like, hell no, we just gonna go hard from the start, man. You hear me? Put the full court press on him. And he still coined the phrase at the UN today, which John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben carried the torch from then. And now it look like only the last done left in this shit. Playboy and Hustler learned the secret science. That's why they kept putting interracial people. The cartoons, emojis, all this shit is hieroglyphics. Motion picture shit. What is the first film ever filmed in America? The first motion picture. The first motion picture is Birth of a Nation. In the movie Birth of a Nation, what were they doing? They were showing Union soldiers were wanting to have intercourse with white women to create propaganda, which inadvertently got Ferdinand shot at start of World War I. Once they discovered that the King Tut was the direct descendant of what you call the Aryans, which is really just Greco-Roman shit. I remember I was in a yoga class, because even Indian people lie about this shit. They say Kama Sutra is 101 sex positions and 64 arts. So why the fuck is you in there stretching and shit? It's a sex science and how to rule nations. Period. Asian people have what? Nahanga and Shanga. So on and so forth. what is happening is these women are being flooded out. In the Book of the Mormons, they said Egyptians, Joseph Smith, were all the people who lived in America, like the Avatar movie. These people went in and mingled with the people from Spain and Portugal, Europe, all through this, and created Mexicans and Brazilians and all these other races of people. Because these people don't even have no records of any type of civilization before then. They say the Mayans disappeared. They didn't know damn Mayans disappeared. They was always niggas. The out of Africa theory, which is debunk Darwinism and debunk religious hoo-ha. See, I could never get caught in a conspiracy with marijuana. Got it legalized. They say I'm playing these women in the streets, pulling pistols. Then come to find out it's the castle doctrine. You can't beat me in court because I don't subscribe to Greco-Roman theories. When you homosexuals, Greeks, why did they become homosexual and do the buck breaking during the times of slavery? Because the Caucasoid Mountains, which is derivative of the word Caucasian, was where they quarantined the lepers, as they even say in Leviticus 13. And you say Moses, Moses, etc. It's the same game. I could say a lot more, and there's a lot more to say. But I'll leave that for a later date. Resurrection of the Dead album on the way. 213-278-4469. Zelle Atlanta. Like and subscribe, man. $1 million fundraiser. Going back to Africa, do civil engineering to build palaces. Be a lot more. And the book tour, that soundtrack, and the movie. 2 movies, 2 projects. Coming soon. Love, peace, and her grease. Holla back.